Hey guys, what's happening? Juan Antonio here. Listen, as I'm sure you're aware, Anthony Bourdain took his life last week. He committed suicide. We live in times where people are struggling. It's tough out there, and you don't always know what's on someone's mind, but things can get very hard, maddeningly hard. And in those times, people make a choice that they want to end their life. It is what it is. I'm seeing online a lot of people mean well. They're sending their condolences, they're tweeting out things, they're Instagramming, and they're all doing one thing that just keeps jumping out at me. And again, they mean well. They're posting that if you're feeling suicidal, if you're having thoughts, call this 1-800 whatever number. This is what you need to understand. You're asking too much for people. You're asking too much. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm literally thinking of jumping in front of this train, and you want me to go ahead and dial 11 numbers? Guys, we're asking too much. And this friend of mine, he said he's not a bad dude. And he didn't mean it in a mean way, but he did say it. He said, well, if someone can't even call a number, maybe they don't deserve to be here. I'm not going to get into this idea of deserve, but I'm going to focus on what I believe. I believe UX matters. When someone is at the end of their life, you asking them to dial this 800 number, that's a shitty UX experience. Okay? Way back in the day, when iTunes first started up, Steve Jobs was almost obsessive about, can my user, within 3 button taps, buy a song? Is that possible? It had to be done. So, we got 11 numbers versus 3. Here's what nobody wants to say. No one is calling 800 numbers. No one's calling 800 numbers. I asked about 25 different people. Only 3 situations came up. Number 1, support. My Coinbase account, I'm locked out. I made the wrong trade, whatever. You know what it feels like when you're on hold, 800 number. That was situation number 1. Number 2, you're up late at night making bad decisions. Buying things off television you probably shouldn't be buying. You know what number 3 was? It's humans. They're lonely. They're calling these, I'm gonna call it sexy numbers, to hear that sexy voice, to get whatever they need. But all those 25 people, those were the only 3 cases this came up. I've been dialing that suicide prevention 800 number, and I'll talk about that another time. What I want to talk about right now is super important. It's called Lifeline. It's a software idea, an app for the mobile phone, and that's Apple, that's iOS. This is how simple it is. You guys have seen Shazam, right? Or the little coin flip app? They can do one thing. Lifeline does one thing. This is Lifeline right here. You press that hard button, and then just like Shazam, it's doing its magic. Do you know what it's doing? It's contacting my pre-designated friend. Pre-designated friend. Someone where I went, hey man, if I'm ever in trouble, if I ever think I want to jump in front of a train, can I call you? Luckily, my friend Brandon said yes. So it's pre-calling Brandon. I don't gotta look for his contact, I don't gotta remember his number. No, it's just calling him. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing hearts being circled. They're making the rounds, reminding me there's love out there. This is what I'm seeing. This is what Brandon would see. Your friend needs you. I don't care if this is blaring red, orange, it's motion, something. When he sees it on his phone, he knows this is a life or death situation. He's have to explain whether he's at dinner, whether he's with a meeting. No. When he sees that, You go like this, put your hand out there, an important call, I gotta take this. And then you go out and take it, and that's it. Here's the thing, and people don't wanna hear this. I wish everybody had one friend like that out there that won't judge them, that won't make condescending comments, or haha, you're being funny. No, I know you can't see me, but maybe you can hear me. I'm literally at the end of my rope. I wanna jump in front of this fucking train, and I almost feel compelled to do it. I texted you. You had to read between the lines, but you missed it. And now I feel like you're making fun of me. And now I'm making fun of myself. Why am I even here? Not everybody has a friend. You know, people mean well, but they end up being busy. They reject your call, but they'll go ahead and text you, which is kind of weird. The point is, I'm hoping that everybody can find one pre-designated friend that they can, boom, reach out to. And guess what? If you can't have a pre-designated friend, I thought of that too. That's where you put in that little 1-800 whatever National Suicide Prevention Hotline number. But again, you pre-dial all those 11 numbers for me. Do the work for me. I know, I'm being lazy. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm not thinking all the way clearly. So let's think about this. 11 numbers versus one button tap. Let's go through this whole steps. I opened the phone, unlocked it. Number 2, I clicked the Lifeline app. Number 3, this is that ideal Steve Jobs 1, 2, 3 button click. That's how simple it is. Shazam can make it. Obviously this can be done. Here's the thing, I'm not a software engineer, but I do think like a product manager. I can quarterback this thing. This is how simple it is. You need a product manager, a designer, a software engineer. And now that I think about it, we don't even need the designer. I'll do that part of it. The point is, I'm watching the show the other day, and it's Mr. Tim Cook on the David Rubenstein show. Just caught a little clip because I didn't go through it, but this part jumped out at me. They asked him, Tim, you're sitting on $30 billion in reserves. What are you gonna do with that money? I'm gonna get a new campus. We're gonna go ahead and buy our stock. Tim. That's all good. Great, get another campus, buy back the stock, shoot up the price. That's awesome. Apple's winning. You make amazing products. But I'm thinking, within that 30 billion reserves, you got a little bit earmarked, maybe $130,000, maybe $13,000, I don't know. But you've got resources, money, 2 personnel. How many employees you guys have? This app is not that difficult. It does one simple thing. You guys can build it. What's frustrating is, I also saw that you guys, for the new iOS 12, are developing a little measuring tape app. We're gonna get rid of the tape measurer. Again, that's awesome. But Tim, this is real fucking life. We're talking about saving a human life. What can be more important than that? It's definitely not measuring tape. And Google, you guys literally print millions every minute with your AdWords program. You're telling me these $2 billion companies don't have $100,000 earmarked to make this app? These are your platforms, guys. They're your smartphones. Here's what everybody's missing. We get the Messenger app by default. We get a mail app by default. Make Lifeline by default on the phone. The only thing I gotta figure out is, who am I gonna nominate to be my pre-designated friend? It's gonna be, will it be awkward? Hey, Brandon, if I'm ever feeling suicidal, can I call you? Yes or no? Hey, if that guy says no, maybe that guy shouldn't be in your life. Or, I don't know. The point is, I'm thinking this is not that difficult to make. And there's someone out there that can get this to Tim Cook, to Sergey, to someone who's involved in product at Apple or Google. If you can't, screw it. If you're a software engineer, if you can develop something, take it to market, to the iOS or Android, hit me up. We can do this within 3 hours. I promise you, I already got it mapped out. We can do this. If you happen to know a designer or know a software engineer, Click that share button. Give them this video. I can't do it by myself. Unfortunately, I'm not an iOS programmer, but I'm gonna start. If this has to be, this should be made. You guys have the resources, the personnel. There's no reason this can't be done in 2 days. But if I have to make it, fine, I will. Actually, now I think about it, Zuckerberg, you're getting chewed up in the media. You can figure out a way to plug it into Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp. Be the hero. Be the hero. Make Lifeline happen. If nothing else, dude, somebody get this to Elon. Elon can do everything and anything. Elon, what's more important than saving a human life? Your whole existence is about saving the human race, taking us to Mars. I love it. I support it. I'm a fan. There are people on this earth right now struggling. They're hurting. When you're in that abyss, in that darkness, you're not thinking clearly. The slightest little thing can take you over the edge. All it takes is one bad day. One bad day. And actually, now I think about it, it takes one bad moment. One bad moment, and just happen to be in front of the train tracks. Screw it. I'm taking off. Why bother? Let's recap this, guys. We have it right here. My Lifeline app, by default, should be on every single smartphone. Give me a reason why it's not. I'm seeing that there's hope out there. My Lifeline buddy is seeing my friend needs me. Guys, what do you think? Make a vote. Do you like this app idea? Comment on there. Did I miss a feature? Did you think of something cool? Let me know. More importantly, if you believe human life matters, if nothing else, if you really want to honor Anthony Bourdain, hit that share button. Share it with somebody. Share this video with somebody. Someone out there can get this to Apple, to Google, to Facebook. If we can't do that, I don't know. I did my piece. I did my part. I'm putting it out there. It's called Lifeline. Should be on every single smartphone by default. Guys, I'm practically begging you. Someone out there, please, for the love of God, just share the video. That tweeting stuff, calls the 800 number, it's being lazy. That's what it is. Because you've never called an 800 number. I've been calling it the last few days. I'll make another video about that. But no, you're asking too much of people. Give them a lifeline. One button tap. The Steve Jobs way. If nothing else, Steve Jobs would have made this happen. Thank you for your time and attention. If you want more content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As always, train for you, train for life.